Okay, so we are going to build a spiral staircase. There's a lot of these tutorials out there, specifically on Blender, but this is my new favorite way. I think it's the most efficient and the easiest because it tackles a key problem. First, push Command and comma to open up your preferences, and type extra. We want to enable extra curve objects and extra mesh objects, and if you're new or not new to Blender, I mean, I can't imagine why you wouldn't want to have these on anyway. So add those in. Now we're going to push Shift A, and we are going to add a curve. We're going to go to curve spiral. It doesn't really matter which one you pick, but I'm going to do Archimedean. And I'm going to give it 2 turns. We're not going to see anything yet till we move up the height. I'm going to put the height at 2. And for steps, 24 should be fine, but I'm gonna go 16 just because I want it to be a little bit chunkier, the panels, when they go up. But this won't, and then this also won't limit our curviness either. So this is what we're starting with, and you can push tab, and now you've got your curve here. I don't want the curve, I want it to be a mesh, so I'm going to right click, and I'm gonna go to convert to mesh. Now we got a mesh. Now, the reason why I like it this way is because instead of starting the traditional way where you just get a step and then you spiral it up with an array and an object offset, what I like about this is it starts with the hardest part of the spiral staircase to get, which is the railing. And from this structure, pretty much everything is built in a much easier way. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna tab into edit mode right here, and we're gonna make sure that we are on vertex select. And what I'm going to do to start is I'm going to select this second vertex, and I'm going to push Shift S and 2 to snap the cursor here. And then I'm going to tab out, so now I'm in object mode, and I'm going to add just 1 vertex of my own in that area. So I'm going to go to Mesh, Single Vert, Add Single Vert. I could have just copied it, but and duplicated it from that other one, but just gonna do it this way. So now we are in edit mode, and if we push E to extrude, you'll see this guy here. We push Z to lock it to the Z, and I want this really just sitting at 0, 0, which if you push 3 to go inside mode, you can, it should probably be 0. No, that's not 0. Right here. I want it to just be level on the ground. Next step is I'm going to highlight that original point, and I'm going to push X to delete, and I'm going to delete the vertex because we don't need that one anymore. I'm just going to put my 3D cursor right back at center, which is actually Shift S1. Okay, so now, and I'm going to set the origin at the 3D cursor too. So I'm going to make sure I've got this little guy selected here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into I'm going to make sure that my snapping, vertex snapping is enabled, and I'm going to extrude with E, and then I'm going to hold Control, and I'm going to snap it right here because I want it to be perfectly on this area. And then I'm going to push E to extrude, and then I'm going to push X to lock it on the X, and I want it just right at the center here, which I believe is -1. Okay. So now I'm going to push A to select all 3. I'm going to push F to make it a face. And now we've got this face here. Now this face we're just going to keep shooting up all the way. So push tab to get back into object mode. Go to the wrench icon, which is modifiers. Add array. Add any number. We'll fix this later. That's what's nice about this. It's procedural. 26. We can get as many or as little as we want. Uncheck relative offset. Check object offset, and we want, we got to add an empty. So making sure that your 3D cursor is right at the center, the origin of our scene. Push Shift A, come down to empty, and use any empty. Next, we're going to click back on the step, and under object offset, we are going to click empty. And now what we are going to do is we're going to select our empty, because now we can array, and we're going to spin it on the Z-axis. I think it's 13.5. It looks a little choppy because it won't matter at all. So now we are going to we're gonna go into side mode by pushing 1, and we're gonna move this up. And you're gonna see we've got this little guy here. And it's a little bit hard to see, so we're gonna click on the stairs, and we're gonna actually do this anyway, but we're gonna push solidify, and we're gonna give it a little bit of thickness. And what do you know, you can see it a lot better. Make sure we're gonna have to adjust this here. Let's get, okay, we have our empty, and we're just gonna kinda push it down a little bit. I want it to like really hug this curve. And sometimes it can be kind of hard to see, but that looks about right. It doesn't have to be perfect. Now we're gonna go back into the steps. Whoops, not the thickness, sorry. We are gonna go into the steps, open up our array, and we're gonna keep going up here. Okay. See, we're totally off. So we're gonna go back into side view, and we are going to adjust the empty on the z-axis until we got it going about right here. Push 3 or 1 to go in, and I'm thinking that looks pretty good. So what's nice about this is we've got our stairs, which we can adjust at any point. We're gonna do more with that, but right now we wanna set up the railing. Now what I found is helpful when you're making stairs, and in any project, get a little cumin. I'm gonna rotate this guy. Rotate, so hit R, Z for the Z-axis, 180, S for scale, I'm gonna scale him down, and say, okay. Pretending, you know, it was a, because, you know, you might have a object or a person and you want things to scale, right? So yeah, this, you know, this looks about right. So I'm gonna click this, and this is gonna be our railing, and it's gonna do other things for us as well. So I'm gonna need 2 of these. So with it selected, I'm gonna push Shift D, and I am going to just turn it off for the moment. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna select this thing, our railing, and I'm gonna push G to move, and Z. Probably start the railing there. Now if you notice this railing, it's all jaggy, so I'm gonna push the slice key, the one that's underneath the question mark button. Okay, that isolates it. And I want it to be super duper smooth because it just looks better. Subdivision surface, let's give it 2, maybe even 3. And coming back here, I'm gonna throw a skin modifier on this. That's why I love it, trying to keep it all procedural here. We need to adjust this, so we tab into edit mode, push A to select everything, and then Control A to scale. And then let's scale this down. You can also use a curve for this if you want more of like a traditional curvy railing. You can do smooth shading, which will make it smoother, but then you'll have to come into the normals property and auto smooth. It's basically the same thing. But okay, so next part, we're gonna click this, get our thing back here, and then this is really cool because now we can get some paneling. So push tab to go into edit mode, push A to select everything, E to extrude, Z to lock it up on this axis. And now we've got these panels, and you can keep it like this if you want. But what I also like to do, because again, proceduralism is great. You always can change things. If you click wireframe, then you got this look, you know. And maybe you want to stop there. Maybe you're done right there. You're like, dude, this is enough, man. Please, no more. I remember that feeling when I was watching tutorials back in the day. You're like, no more. Even though I'm excited, I want to make sure I can do all of this. We're gonna do a nice, easy shortcut here. So tab. This is what it looks like. By the way, one other quick tip, if you hit boundary, or excuse me, you'll get a boundary, but if you uncheck replace original, you can have best of both worlds, but we're gonna go even further just because I like this even better. It's an extra bonus tip. So we're gonna tab back into edit mode. We're gonna make sure we're on face select, although I actually don't think it matters. Push A to select everything. We're gonna come up here to face. We're gonna do poke faces. Now we got this. We're gonna do it again. And oh no, he's not gonna do it again. Poke faces again. And I'm gonna go a step further to make it look extra cool. I'm gonna remove the borders, which we're really not seeing, but it gives it this really interesting look. I'm gonna push that slash key after I select my stairs. I'm gonna push the slash key, and then you have this. No, that was what I was trying to do. I'm gonna go into edge select mode, and I'm gonna select the edges, and I am going to push X for delete, and I'm gonna delete the edges. Nice. And then I'm gonna push that slash key back, and now we got this look. So there's other things we can do. What's nice about this is, yeah, you know, it looks cool. If we want, we can do some sorcery to these steps. Right now they've got the solidify on, which I like because then I go in and I sort of adjust the thickness. Okay, do I want it like this? Because sometimes this can look cooler. Do I want it lower? And then when you apply it, then you can start doing further edits to this mesh, because right now it's, you know, we're just doing the solidify for to sort of help us along. I kind of like just the little tiny gap right here. Next thing you might want to do, let's just close these, is add bevel, which is also nice because you can just adjust this, and you know, you have all these modifiers. I mean, I think this looks pretty cool. You can even bevel the vertices, and if you move it up above solidify, you get a kind of interesting look like that. If you want that sort of look, I'm gonna go with just a regular look because I want to focus on something else right away. Let's lower this down. Yeah, I kind of like that for now. What's next? Let's grab this banister. Go into the X-ray mode here. Make sure you're on vertex select. I'm gonna select this one, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push E to extrude. I'm gonna extrude it on the Y a little bit, and then I'm gonna push E to extrude Z, extrude it down here, and then we got this sort of look, and I mean, that just makes it look better. You can tweak it more, and then of course, look at this wonderful railing. Oh, and that's another thing that's great about this is you're like, oh, I need more steps. So you just click the steps, click array, and just add what you need. It looks like we needed one more. Probably don't even need this guy. And then we'll click this, extrude down the Y, extrude down on the Z. And right there you're good. And then the little last words I'll love to leave you with is, let's select the banister, select our gate, and then don't select the stairs because, you know, we're going to parent this so we can move it around in a future project. Don't select the stairs. We want the stairs selected last. Select the empty, then select the stairs, Control P, and then object keep transform. I believe that's what we want. And then now when we select the stairs, we can move the whole thing. But most importantly, we can also scale it. You know, or maybe we just want to scale it on the X, or maybe we just want to scale it on the Y, or just on the X and Y. It's perfect. So that's why it's great being procedural. Again, at any point you can come in and adjust the thickness of the stairs. Like, ooh, maybe I like that. You know, and yeah, you can adjust the bevel, and you can also at any time apply all of this stuff. At any time you can apply all of this stuff and do further like micro edits to the stairs if you really wanted to make it stand out. Or, I got an idea. This will be the little last thing. Let's see what a wireframe looks like. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see, relative. I don't know, looks weird. But yeah, you just try things up. Wireframe wasn't it? X, done. See, that's why it's a non-destructive workflow. That's what they call it. And bonus tip, save the project. And I'm not even kidding. Save the project because we've got this staircase and we can append it into any scene. So I should probably add some materials to this very quickly. Go into shader editor, go into the world panel, add an HDRI, which you would just add an environment texture if you didn't have that. Go to where you save your HDRIs, select any. Go to, click up here, go to render view. I'm doing this because it's someone needs to see this right now. Go to object, click new. This will be the stair steps. I don't know. I'm gonna make them green glass steps. So, and clicking a new material will give you principled BSDF. This lets you do everything. Let's lower the roughness. So now they're like, really, it's like making it as shiny as possible. Come down here to transmission. That's gonna let you see through it. It's basically gonna turn it into glass. Adjust your settings. I like to make things that look cool, so I'm not worried about realism. Now click the railing, click a new material. I'm just gonna make it just metallic. So whack up metallic. And I like to make things shiny, so we're gonna come back down here to roughness. That looks cool. It's giving me an idea to put a bevel to smooth these hard edges of the railing. Might look cool. Always add bevels to things, because you know, things might look different. Like, yep, that looks much better than before. And if you uncheck this thing, you can see what it was like before. Okay, now for this barred cage, I think I'm gonna go for that metal type look again. We'll see here, because I think it'll just look cool. So whack up metallic, but I want it to be a different color. Maybe let's keep it green like we had. No, I think that I kind of like to make things gold, like get that kind of like a goldy color. And I almost kind of want to put a pole right here, but I don't want this video to get too long. By the way, if you didn't know how to make things transparent, come up to this panel, go to film, transparent, and there you have it. There you have it. Oh, and then let's make this guy look cool. We'll go to transmission, emission, and we'll just make him glow. Let's crank this up. Choose a different color that looks better. He's like, I'm an ascended energy being. Why am I still walking upstairs? I should be flying. Oh, but that's because he loves this is his favorite staircase. Okay, so click on our stairs. I'm gonna just do something interesting. I'm gonna add a bump node. I'm gonna add a Voronoi, and I'm gonna plug distance into height. Normal. I like the stairs, but they're too. I'm gonna turn randomness down. And there you go, much more interesting. Let's see if we can get a nice look at these unusual stairs. Very cool. Hope you guys enjoyed it.